Probando. Un, dos, tres. Probando. Probando. Unless I very much miss my guess, we are now live. Estamos en vivo. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
It has been a very long week. My focus is completely shot. A good portion of my body and head hurt. So, it's a great week for baseball, is what I'm saying.
It's always a great week for baseball.
Well, not if it rains all week.
I was going to say it never rains in the LMP. It certainly does, but we never
It,
have to deal with the consequences, really.
not only does it often rain in the LNP, specifically the Naguabo Park seems to be constantly rainy. There are incredible rain delays happening at this park on and the thing is, the whoever is making the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña schedule seems to be aware of this fact because they keep scheduling late games at the stadium as though to avoid the afternoon rains.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work.
Uh, well, at least the Timonera is probably built by people who understand making things seaworthy, so they'll be able to protect it from the rain.
You would hope so. Today we've got, pardon me, today we've got a classic pairing. On my left, in, well, you can't see it yet, but it'll be light blue, red, and white with little navy accents. The Cañeros de Vega Bajas with their sweetly balanced lineup. And I'm about to do one of those things and make some metaphors and sugary base running. I don't know what that means.
I think I can figure out what types of words you're trying to work into the phrases there.
I,
I
I
got you there. Sort of a candy themed
I
game.
think what I'm trying to say is that they don't steal many bases. They're kind of stuck, as though they are covered in sugar syrup, cane juice,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps.
Molasses, etc. Sure.
Sure, sure. But yes, they are the cane cutters. In fact, it's funny you mentioned molasses. The actual double A team, pardon me, double A team in Vega Baja is called the Melao Melao, which is in fact just molasses.
I would have thought that would be honey. I guess I'm not looking at the word correctly.
Mm. Uh, I don't actually melado. I mean, it might mean ultimately something like honeyed, but yeah, melao is usually some kind of brown sugar mix product, what have you.
Makes sense. I think the word kind of gets used as a general sweetening term in every language, probably.
Very true. On my right, as the other half of this classic pairing, we have the salty sea dogs of the Navegadores, who should be happy. In any normal universe, they would be. The Sapphire and Gold La Brújula has romped their way to a 61-27 record over the first
Ooh.
88 games of the season. So actually, I believe her stream name is a misnomer. They are playing. Oh no, I did get it right. Game 89. Pardon me. As we go into this one,
Uh-huh.
with top pitching staff and incredible offense that is fourth in runs scored in the Liga Betances. If you add in Liga Ostos, things get quite a bit dicier at that point. A frustrating offense nonetheless in terms of the strikeouts are back, the averages are low. You can see here guys like Sherdlu are hitting 219. That should not be happening. Our current batting average leader is Salmeron at a 297. I think it's the first year that a Navegador is not hitting over 300 at the All Star break.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Granted, that is endemic to the league this year. We still have guys who are hitting well over 300, but it really seems as though, for whatever reason, I wouldn't say offense has gone down exactly, but
Okay.
we can actually check this, by the way. We can be quite statistical about it. It is kind of a mid year. What has decreased is slugging. It's the worst year in the 20th century so far for that.
Oh, but I love that. I want to see it though.
This year is this is the worst year for you personally. Stolen base
It feels
rates
like that
and
every year
power
too.
are the most down they've been so far.
Hmm. Darn it.
And yet, the averages they're down from last year, but not by too much. This is a very similar year to 1904 in most respects, I would say.
Hmm.
Except no, honestly, almost across the board. It's pretty much the same except that strikeout rates are lower this year and walk rates are higher. That's basically the biggest thing.
Okay. I mean, I guess that helps win games, but it's not very exciting.
No, not really. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the lineup that we have for the Navegadores out there tonight. You can see some unfamiliar names here. Minsu Kim is subbing in for Rob Feaster, he's
Oh.
not doing so hot lately. He had a strained oblique and got a few days left to recover from that, so Kim is on kind of an accelerated schedule.
Mm.
And originally, Felix Bukar was standing in for Ham Underwood, but he seems to be doing fine. There's no reason not to play him. It was just one of those regular substitutions to make sure that he doesn't get hurt. So
Yay.
we're switching Ham back in. He'll be playing center field today, and we're putting him in the says Will Ham. Thank you.
Yes. He's better than ever. Back and better than ever from his what injury? It was a muscle strain injury, wasn't it?
Yes, except I can't remember. It may have also been a strained oblique. Come to think of it, there's been a
Yeah, it was
lot of
something
that
in the
going around.
core. Mm-hmm.
Well, we can actually find this out pretty quickly. Hang on. Here we go. Where are we? Rib cage muscle.
Okay.
Something in the costals, as they say. Hey, the coastal costals.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Sure.
like a band that plays on the beach while dressed in skeleton outfits.
That sounds pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
might
think you'd
have
have a
just
tough
have
time
been
with that one.
I was gonna say that might just have been Oingo Boingo back in the day, but we need something new now.
Anyway, so he's doing okay, and we're sticking him to bat seventh in this one because he still does a lot better when he's lower in the lineup. So we're gonna try that, see how it goes. Batting leadoff,
Mhm.
it's a worthy experiment. You would think that would get some real good effort out of him, but so far it just hasn't worked out. He just doesn't draw enough walks. That's really the biggest
Okay.
problem. You
Mm.
need somebody with a higher on base percentage, but lower in the lineup, he's the kind of guy who can surprise you out of the bottom third. This is not the lineup, by the way. This would be a crazy order to run these guys out in. Also, we need to talk about the fact that the base running for the Cañeros de Vega Baja, which is controlled by their third base coach, when I saw this, if only 90s kids will remember, although I have to imagine this cartoon was out long before then. Um, but my first thought was that Johnny Quest is the third base coach for the Cañeros.
Well, he certainly did have a lot of jobs, didn't he? So why
He
not
sure did.
baseball
Is
guy?
there a Johnny Quest episode where they play baseball? That's a good question.
I don't know, but I have to believe there is. I would bet on it. Yeah.
And the next question is, of course, what position was Race Bannon playing? Because that's the only other thing I remember about that series.
Yeah, good question. Were the Harlem Globetrotters involved? Also, an important question for a
Were they
cartoon series
actually
of the
in
time.
Johnny Quest as well? Please tell me they
I
were.
don't know. I don't know. I know they were on Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone knows that. Even I saw that episode. But we do need to talk about the fact the team is remarkably international in terms of their coaching. Their hitting coach is Mike Muldoon, who is Irish from an unknown birthplace. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure we do know, but okay. And Sterling
does
Brunner.
Yellen
Hmm?
does the LNP have the same thing the old WWF used to have, where you're a wrestler from parts
Parts
unknown?
unknown.
Hmm.
Usually that means that you were born in, because of the way our out of the park works, it usually means that you were born in in one country but are technically another nationality for some reason. So, like, if you were
Ah,
American but you were born outside of the United States, because Out of the Park will not let you be born outside of the country that you hold nationality in.
okay. I see.
So Muldoon, who has been the hitting coach since 1902, I wonder if he was a Crown of the Four Flowers player. Says the VHS Wizard. Does not look like there was ever a Johnny Quest baseball episode. Thank you
Oh,
for running that down. Disappointing, but I appreciate the research. And
missed opportunity.
Sterling Brunner, their pitching coach from Rosenberg, Texas. He was the pitching coach last year in Thunder Bay in the Royal Canadian Baseball League for the
Oh,
sleeping giants out there, and then was hired here and is taking them to a 50-43 record, which is pretty amazing because let me tell you something. The Cañeros are not good. They are 22nd in runs scored and 24th in runs against in the Liga Betances. The thing is that they share a division with two other not great teams. So
oh, okay.
they're basically just constantly playing king of the mid out there.
Makes sense.
All right. You think we've done enough yapping? Should we get down to the
I think
field?
so.
Let's
Yeah,
go
let's
in.
play some baseball.
Sounds good to me. All right.
Oh, did you know? It was about Benji.
What?
The did you know was information about Benji setting a record.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I missed that. I was checking the volume on my headset. Did you see what it was by any chance?
Um, no, just that it was June 4th, I think, and then he set the league record.
I wonder if he set the league record in triples because that has since been beaten. I remember John Anderson tied it when he was with the team, and then, oh boy, who's the Murciélago de Camuy? Roberto Gomez, I think. It was either Roberto Gomez or Tadeo Ramirez who beat it.
Okay.
You can see here the Cañeros de Vega Baja in their red uniforms with the white pinstripes, an homage to the Havana Sugar Kings of our universe's mid-century. The old Miami Marlins City Connects are also an homage to that same team, which is why they're pretty similar. Uh, Today at La Timonera, nearly sold out crowd, 2,939. Partly cloudy, temperature 26 degrees, wind is blowing out to center, so Ham better watch for those balls going overhead. Now, before we announce the starting lineups and get going with our first pitch, we always have to start by thanking. Well, there are so many people who make these broadcasts possible, but there is one person and one product that makes it even more possible. And now Louisa is going to thank that person, or really just give you a chance to get acquainted with their incredible product. Louisa, who are we talking about?
We are, of course, talking about our most venerable sponsor, Dr. Gonzalez and his wonderful wood tar liquor. Folks, 70,000 patients have been cured over the past 15 years with it. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, all cured. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, which is inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Important. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guiametti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very, very much, Louisa. It's important that people know that this is a legitimate and accredited Dr. Gonzalez supporting stream. We're not like those, oh, what's his name? We're not like those Dr. Monagas fans out there. He's just a pharmacist. He's not
Ooh,
even a doctor, really.
yeah.
How dare he? Even though he is, native to Puerto Rico and produces his wood tar liquor on shore.
Listen, we don't need to talk up other wood tar liquors. Dr. Gonzalez, his elixirs, they speak for themselves.
That's right. And often will make you speak for yourself in all manner of ways, really, I would imagine.
Sounds threatening.
At any rate, the starting lineup for the visiting Cañeros de Vega Baja. Batting leadoff and playing center field, number 6, Ignacio Ortiz. Batting second and playing left field, number 8, Heriberto Telles. Batting,
Love that mustache.
batting third and playing second base, number 4, Eligio Quintero, who I think quite accurately looks to be regretting the choice of the team he signed with.
Ooh.
Batting fourth and playing first base, number 99, Fernando Bomia, one of 18 players to have hit a grand slam this season. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 12, Cristobal Campos, who was a minor league star for, now I'm forgetting what their minor league team is called, pardon me, the Dulzones.
Makes sense.
He was excellent for them. I think he lost out on winning MVP in the minor leagues, but here he is. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 31, Jesus Osorio. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 10, Gavino Sanchez. Batting eighth and catching, number 13, Roberto Mora. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 54, Leon Mora. And of course, you might be excited and think these two might be related, but if so, it's pretty distant because Leon Mora is Mexican.
Ah, darn it.
And now, the starting lineup for the Navegadores de Naguabo, which I would like to issue forth in a more excited voice, but clearly I'm still under the weather here. We shall do our best. Batting leadoff and playing right field, number 56, Frank del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting second and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
Batting third and playing left field, number 37, Vidal Santiago.
The Barber.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 17, Pablo Salmeron.
Rodijon.
Batting fifth and playing second base, number 4, Eto'o Sherdlu.
The Font of Wisdom.
Batting sixth and playing first base, number 23, Min-Soo Kim. Do you remember
Does he
his
have
nickname?
No, I don't. Does he have one?
His name is Tronchavates, Batbuster.
Yes, of course.
Batting seventh and playing center field, number 27, Graham Underwood. Batting eighth and catching, number 0, Spike Stonehand.
The man who needs no nickname.
And batting ninth and playing third base today, number 43, Chenda Su, the first Cambodian player in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history. He does not have a nickname because, Bukar already took the solution from him, so we don't know what else to call this guy.
We'll have to think it over.
Pitching for the Navegadores tonight, number 3, Everton Stack. We have tried coming up with every sort of pun about him. I think he was
I still
actually...
want to call him... What's that?
Go ahead.
I still want to call him Stack of Pancakes. It's not super flattering, though.
I also, and you have a point. We did talk last week about how there would be Canadian restaurants in the LNP's Puerto Rico instead of American ones. So pancakes would be happening.
Ugh, delicious.
The VHS Wizard suggests Superman. Well, honestly, something that, yeah, maybe. Everton Stack, 13-6 over 188 and a third innings, ERA of 1.24, 175 strikeouts to 36 walks. You know him, you love him. Fastball, curveball, sinker, and a deadly, deadly splitter. He faces Ignacio Ortiz, who is OPSing .685, 3 homers, 35 runs batted in. Time to get this ball game underway.
Woo.
Are you going to get your sweep over the grotto here is the question.
Love that grotto.
No, it's getting blocked.
Every time.
This did not happen back in the day. I don't understand what's going on here.
The slow pan over the crowd.
Well, the fact that it blocked the grotto out, we didn't have that problem last season.
Yeah,
Anyway, on
true.
a 3-1 count here, Ortiz bangs that one into center field. It's a looper. The wind catches it and stretches it out a little bit further, and it's a base hit, a single on a fastball that caught too much of the plate, and we are off. Next up, it's Heriberto Telles, OPS of 668, no home runs, 32 runs batted in. Ortiz, 21 stolen bases, and he's in front of a hot bat, so let's see what they try to do here. 1-1
I feel
count.
like Ham should have got that one. Oh,
There's a sack bunt. Stack throws it to the leadoff runner there and erases him.
a
Good
double?
work.
Was that a double?
No. It was a sack bunt. He threw to the leading
Oh, I
runner
see.
at second base. So in the end, they do get a runner on the fielder's choice, but they don't get the lead runner, which is what they were trying to do. Or rather, the Cañeros do not get to move a guy to second. He'll still be at first.
Now, the very first guy, I feel like Ham should have been in position to catch that ball. Is that reasonable, or am I being too hard on him?
He might have been playing deep center, figuring that Ortiz is one of two guys in this lineup who's hit a homer, and two, with the
Okay.
wind blowing out to center, he might be playing deeper than usual, just to make sure balls don't get over his head, because that's the most dangerous situation you can get in as an outfielder. If you can't see the ball, then you have a much higher chance of it like hitting off the wall or something like that, and giving you some real agita. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Besides which, the day an Naguabo pitcher throws a no hitter, we will all celebrate. It's never going to happen on stream. We're sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
Better to get it over with, one batter in. Anyway, there's still a man on first with an out for Elijo Quintero, who is currently OPSing 7-8. No home runs, 39 runs batted in on a 2-1 count. He hits that one to Valdez. He throws to second, and I don't think they're going to keep going with it. Pretty slow play there. A sinker this time that did the exact job it needed to do. Got the grounder here. And now they will face the most dangerous bat in some ways in this lineup, Bomilla. OPS of 596, but he's got 4 homers and 36 runs batted in. Let's see if he proves problematic for Stack to deal with. 2 outs and a man on first.
That's very modern baseball lingo.
And let's see what we've got here. Big throw from Stonehand, but not in time. Quintero stealing his 14th base this season. He'll be in scoring position now on that sinker strike. And, Stack clips him.
Oh, no.
Looks like
He
he might
learned
have
the
been
wrong
hurt
lessons
there.
from Ed.
He's able to shake that off, thankfully, so they'll have 2 on and 2 outs. And Stack at 15 pitches here in the inning. He's got to face Cristobal Campos, OPS of 598. No home runs, 25 runs batted in. Stack not as quick with a strikeout as he used to be. And here on the 2-2 count, bounces one to Shirley. He's got it. He turns and makes the throw to first, and that is the inning.
Nice.
Despite the 2 base runners, the Cañeros are unable to bring either of them home, but they've got to be pretty happy doing that against a pitcher who is probably going to get some excelentissimo votes this year. So good first inning for Vega Baja, I think we all have to say. Pitching for the Cañeros tonight is number 32, Jean Riviere from Port-au-Prince. He is currently sitting on a 2.22 ERA, 51 strikeouts to 61 walks over 190 and 2/3 innings, 11 wins to 10 losses. He has a fastball, slider, changeup, sinker, splitter, cutter. I'm sure he could figure out a way to fit another pitch in there if he really tried hard.
Yeah, maybe he should work on improving some of the ones he has.
Probably. He was well rated coming out of last season, but something seems to have really broken in him. Not nearly as overwhelming a pitcher. He's actually shut out the Naves before.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see what happens here. Frank de Castillo, OPS of 740, 1 home run, 39 runs batted in. Let's see if Frank can get things started for the Naves here, as I don't think he's batted leadoff much this year. 19 quality starts from Riviere, as on the 2-2 count, Frank de Castillo, rinse and repeat, hits one On a line drive through to center field. You'll love this phrase, Louisa. It was a meek nubber.
Didn't he play shortstop for the something?
Yeah,
I can't
meek
continue that
nubber,
joke. It's a
big
good joke.
big Chicago Orphans guy back in the day, yeah. Played a lot of
There we go.
shortstop, pitched a couple games, in fact. By the way, that was a 9-pitch at bat.
Whoa.
That's a great at bat from him. You don't
Wow.
usually see that.
That's awesome. All over the zone, too.
All right, here we go. Benji Valdez coming up next. OPS of 678. No home runs, 38 runs batted in, 47 stolen bases. Frank has 27, and this is where we usually check the arm on the... Oh, no. They're 100% going to try to steal, and he is 100% going to get thrown out.
He's probably so excited.
Yep. All right, here goes nothing. 1-2 count against Benji. That's a roller to the pitcher. What are they going to go for? They go for second base, and somehow he gets called out.
Ugh, don't like it.
Let's see this again on the replay. I really wish we could get the soccer replay with the, like blue figures and everything. He makes it there well ahead of the throw.
Yeah, it sure looked like it.
I wonder if he missed the bag. Either way, that's a man out with a man on first, and here comes Vidal Santiago. He was doing incredibly well in the early part of the season. Since then, regressed quite a bit. We're sitting on a 6.89 OPS and 2 home runs with 44 runs batted in. He and Salmeron are duking it out to see who leads the club in runs batted in at the end of the year. Here goes nothing. He's got an 11-game hitting streak, and here goes Benji stealing second easily. 48th stolen base on that change-up strike. Mora behind the plate. A little bit of effort to catch that one, so he wasn't ready. But with a man in scoring position, let's see if Santiago can move him up. Next pitch. Santiago pops him up into foul territory. Catchable there for the first baseman Bomilla, and he's got it. So.
Oh, rude to go all the way out there to catch it. Come on, where's your sportsmanship?
Says Will. Woot, Benji. And let's see if, with 2 outs and Benji on second, Pablo Salmeron can make something happen. Pablo this year has just emerged as the top bat on this team. He's sitting on an OPS of 790, 7 home runs, 49 runs batted in. I think in all of those, he's leading the ball club right now.
Nice.
So let's see if he can get the job done here. Riviera is on 15 pitches, and boy, on the very first pitch, what is Pablo going to do? Yes! He knocks it through.
Ooh, so good.
Benji to third, and we are going to send him on as Ortiz doesn't even bother with the relay throw. The throw is off base. Salmeron goes to second. It's an RBI single. Salmeron with his 50th run batted in. The Navegadores are in front, 1-0.
Incredible.
Salmeron, I think... No, he does not yet have a career record for runs batted in, but he's going to reach it soon. He's sitting on 50, and he has 56 as a career record so far. He's also halfway to breaking his... to getting to his career record. Season record in home runs. I guess I should say personal season record. That's probably the more accurate term.
How's that different?
He hit 15 last year. Well, a career record would be the record he sets over the course of his entire career.
Yes, but how is season different from personal season?
Oh, I don't know. Franchise season, like the record for any Navegador.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So here we go. Sherdlu is up next. Stephanta Wisdom sitting on a 626 OPS, 1 home run, 26 runs batted in, on base percentage of .311.
Nice. What colors is it? Energy.
Sapphire and gold, you know it, baby. As he launches that one into center field, Ortiz seems to be chasing it, but it's over his head. That's why Ham was playing so deep. It's an RBI double. No, it's a triple.
Run!
Sherd Lou going for second and third, and he will get them both.
Amazing! Oh,
The Navegadores hang 2 runs early on Jean Riviere here on an RBI triple, and they continue to pile it on. Here comes Min-Soo Kim, who recently hit his first home run of the year. He led the Naguabo Malditos, the minor league team, in home runs last season, despite showing up halfway through the season for them.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't realize that part.
You know who's really mad about that is Francisco Boucher, who was leading the club up until that came up. Francisco Boucher, as we all know, is French for Frank Bucket.
You can see why he would go with the French.
Exactly. Min-Soo Kim sitting on a 654 OPS, 11 runs batted in, 1 homer. He is the heir apparent to Rob Feaster. Very different player, obviously. And on the 1-2 count here. Ooh! Checked swing, and he strikes out. The ump says he went around and put his shoulder into it, but not before Naguabo gets 3 hits and 2 runs here in the first. And that's got to be some of the earliest runs we've ever seen scored by our Naves.
Yeah. I fully expect the first third of the game to be 0-0 for most of these games.
Exactly. All right, we are through 1. Naves lead 2-0, and it'll be up to Osorio, Sanchez, and Mora to get something going against Everton Stack. He's sitting on 21 pitches over that first inning with 1 hit allowed. Osorio, OPS of 5.34, no home runs, 21 runs batted in. On the 2-1 count, Osorio high in the air, De Castillo chasing it down. I can hear Luisa clenching, and he's got it.
Okay.
Stand down.
You say I'm too hard on Frank, but listen, he hasn't dropped anything in a while that we've seen him do, so I'm okay with Frank.
Okay, that's good to know. 1 out and the base is empty. 4 fastballs to him. Stack was not remotely afraid of what he would do with them. Here comes Sanchez, 643 OPS, no home runs, 25 runs batted in, and on the 2-2 count. Stack finally gets his first strikeout, a fastball. A couple sinkers mixed into that one. 6-pitch at bat, but Sanchez ends up striking out. First K of the night for Everton Stack, and he will now face Roberto Mora, the catcher, sitting on a 574 OPS, no home runs, 28 runs batted in. And on the 0-2 count, Mora in the hole, and he strikes out. Back-to-back Ks, and Stack has a much quicker second inning. Great rebound against Vega Baja here at the bottom of the lineup. And the Naves have a very fast chance to respond against Riviere.
Nice.
Who, over that first inning, threw 26 pitches, allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 strikeout. Leading off, it's Ham Underwood, who's had a tough July so far. He's hitting 179 with just 3 runs batted in. OPS of 604 for the year. That's about 89-90% of an average hitter. We're going to see if today's a little bit different. See if Burford wants to move him back down in the lineup to take advantage of his talents here. On the 2-1 count, Underwood hits that one. It's a hard line drive to second. And unfortunately, he will be out on that. Quintero throws to first. Just didn't quite get enough air on that one. Once it hit the dirt, it was stopped.
Oh, well.
He'll get a chance to try again. Here comes Spike Stonehand, who's having a great time despite a 498 OPS and 29 runs batted in. Can he do anything with the bases empty and 1 out? 1-0 count for him. He hits one up the middle, and Spike is off to the races. He'll be on base. 4th hit of the game for the Naves there. He pulls up, and here comes Chenda Su, the 3rd baseman. OPS of 481, no home runs, 12 runs batted in. Before this year started, Burford wanted to stick him at shortstop and DH Benji Valdez.
What?
Technically, he's a better defensive shortstop, but not by much. He's pretty great at all kinds of defense, really. He expects to be adored, we're told.
Don't we all?
Do we? 1-2 count.
Uh, in the jealous
Sense. Yeah,
creepy
fair enough.
crawly parts of our brain.
Ortiz hauls that one in as there's way too much air on that line drive. And it's an easy catch for the center fielder, so Benji will go back to first base. Yeah, it's not. It is an unrealistic expectation of your Chendasu to be like, yes, everyone will love me. I will be a star. You're gonna be a bench player almost any team you're on, bro. Chill.
He did start off very strongly in the minors, though. You kind of see where he would get that impression.
He did, although even there, I think that's more a reflection of the talent level that he was playing at.
Okay.
In terms of the LNP, he's a defensive wizard. There is nothing that is unimpeachable, his fielding ability. But yes, at the plate, he leaves quite a bit to be desired.
Does he have red shoes?
He does, because he's still kind of a maldito at heart.
That's great.
Here comes Frank de Castillo, who's already 1-for-1 on the day. And on the 3-1 count, he swings and hits that one into right field. Is that going to drop? No, it will not. It'll be the right fielder out there, Sanchez, who'll catch it.
Oh, the catcher has sky blue shoes. Those are very sharp.
Excellent. So Naguabo gets a hit, and that's it. As we're through 2 innings, the Navegadores remain out in front 2-0. Fastball there. Man, he should have taken that. Should have waited for the next pitch. Top of the third, Everton Stack. 34 pitches, 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He'll face Mora, the other Mora, Ortiz, and Telles. Mora sitting on a 552 OPS, 5 runs batted in, and he gets the first full count of the night, and he works a walk on a fastball there, 6-pitch at bat.
Wow.
Stack just kind of gave up on him after a while, just started throwing out of the zone. The lineup turns over. Here comes Ignacio Ortiz, who's 1-for-1 on the day. Man on first and no outs for him. First pitch, Ortiz hits that one to Sherlew. They go to second for 1, and Valdez, for some reason, does not let go of that ball. Could have gotten the twin killing there. It did look like he lost momentum on the move to second, so maybe he was preparing himself for a slide. And, I don't know, maybe just complicated the transfer from one hand to the other.
I mean, I guess if they weren't confident, that's probably the best move, because if they lost control of the ball, that would be bad.
Yeah. Here comes Heriberto Telles, who is hitting 182 off of Stack in 11 at-bats. He's 0-for-1 on the night, and on the 0-1 count. Telles hits that one, and Sherlew right there with the glove. Out number 2 for Sherlew. Ortiz still on second base, Ortiz still on first with 2 outs for Eddie Quintero, who is 0-for-1. With a runner on first, Quintero is hitting .313. He also takes a full count. Before he goes to Sherlew, that's an error. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And Sherlew flings it away from Min-Soo Kim there. A bad throw on the error, and here we go again. Another 6-pitch at bat, resulting in that. You know Stack's annoyed, but he's got to get back in there. He will now face Fernando Bomilla, who is hitting 181 away from home. But it should be noted, 3 of his home runs have come on the road.
Oh, okay.
Last time he got hit by pitch. Let's see what he does now. 2-2 count with 2 on. And he strikes out to end the inning.
Oh, nice.
Bomilla swings right through a splitter. And the Navegadores will remain in the lead after that one as the Cañeros strand another 2 base runners. Valdez, Santiago, and Salmeron, the hitting core of this lineup, will face Riviere, who is through 2 innings on 41 pitches, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 strikeout. Valdez, 0-for-1 on the day. He's actually hitting ridiculously better at home. His overall average is .253. He is hitting .315 at home.
Oh, man.
So let's check this out. On the road, he's actually a below average hitter this year. At home, he's MVP level again.
Amazing.
I wonder what Go ahead.
Gains all his strength from standing on his own soil like Dracula.
I guess so. Wow. 3-1 count to him. And there's a perfect example. Swings on that one and hits it
Whoa.
just past the shortstop.
Nice.
Fastball. It'll be another base hit, and he's put himself in excellent position to move it up. And whoa, a fastball at his shoulder, basically.
Wow.
Now that is situational hitting, knowing that that's if you can recognize that that's where they're throwing it and move your bat to accommodate that, you're gonna get some interesting base hits out of it because everybody's expecting you to hit it to the other side of the infield.
Yeah.
Going for the shortstop, you're saying no, I'm not interested.
Pretty good.
Here comes Vidal Santiago, who's 0 for 1. Let's see. Swinging on the first pitch, which he's done 40 times this year. He's hitting 400. 0-2 count. And he gets clipped. A little bit of revenge there, perhaps, for Bomilla. And it's 2-on with no outs for Salmeron. An errant fastball there. Salmeron is 1 for 1 with a ribby on the day. He hit that RBI single back in the first inning. The one thing I really wish the simulator would do is let you replay things that have already happened in the game. But nice. Let's see what he pulls out of the hat for this one. Because with Pablo, it could be anything. It could be a really nice play, a home run type of thing, or it could be he hits into a triple play. So here goes nothing. First pitch. Attempted double steal. Oof, Valdez is done. Yeah, he's out. That was foolish. You've got the best hitter on the team at the plate, and you're just gonna try to bump off his concentration. Ugh.
Yeah.
Not well advised. Not with a good holder, not with a good catcher. But that was ball 1. Let's see what Pablo can do from here. 2 pitches later, he hits it directly to the second baseman, who will retire the lead runner. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Salmeron will be on base with that, with 2 outs for Sherdlu, who is himself 1 for 1 with a ribby. A splitter away. Not enough strength behind that base hit. Let's see if Sherdlu can do anything else. Try to get another run across here. I think he's about to get plunked. That is exactly correct. He just got hit in the foot.
Why? Huh? What? How did you know that was going to happen?
A gentleman never reveals his secrets.
All right, fair enough. I did not like that one bit.
Yeah, and both have been fastballs, too. Neither one of them has been a curveball or, like a changeup, something where you can say, oh, sorry, it just kind of got away from the pitcher a little bit when he snapped his wrist or something.
Yeah.
Woof. Min-Soo Kim comes up in a big spot here. He's 0 for 1 on the day with 2 on and 2 outs. Let's see if he can do anything. First pitch to him. He hits that one right back to second base. They're going to get him. That'll be pretty easy, and we are through 3. Quintero throws him out, and the side is retired. The Navegadores' turn to strand 2 base runners. We're through 3 innings. The Navegadores remain ahead 2-0, but if this is how they're going to hit, that might not be the case for long. Before we continue with this ball game, we will have a word from another of our wonderful sponsors. Luisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Today, folks, I want to read to you from the Classifieds, the Gazetilla. So here's a few notes from January 8th, 1871. Caution! We beseech subscribers who wish to continue receiving our newspaper to please pay the receipts presented to them by their respective agents. Those from towns where we do not have agents can send in the cost of the subscription in mailing stamps. We pray to all that they help us avoid the disgust of suspending the wide distribution of the bulletin. I like that. It's very genteel, but it's letting you know, if you don't pay for it, we're going to stop making it. That is a credible threat. Item number 2, complaint. Neighbors of the former town of Cangrejos, today at Capitoline Barrio, complain that they cannot find meat in their neighborhood most days, and hope that the slaughterhouse merchants adopt some measure to avoid the tragedy of said neighborhood's population being unable to eat meat every day. I love that. The threat of not being able to eat meat every day, tragic. I wonder what was going on there. I wonder why the butchers weren't active in Cangrejos. Item number 3, a theater. On Tuesday will be the benefit for Senor Arquibao, director of the local orchestra and renowned music teacher of this locality. The operetta The Daughters of Eve will be staged, as well as a vocal performance of Orovesa's bass aria from La Norma with choral accompaniment, and a tenor aria from the same work. Senor Arquimbao will play the piano. Also on this night, we expect a staging of the light opera Sergeant Frederick. That one I don't know. I say that one, I don't know any of these pieces. But I'm not big on opera. That's always the category on Jeopardy I do terrible with.
There was, in my former life, when I was a trivia coach, you could always tell what people were obsessed with on any given year, because there would be, in every set, there would be a question about the same set of knowledge, basically. And a few years ago, somebody was just obsessed with Giuseppe Verdi because every set had a question on him.
Jeez.
Another year, I'm trying to remember what it was. There was another year where it was, it was a painter, and I don't think it was Klimt.
Oh.
It was similarly a painter that you would not expect high school students to be familiar with.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Klimt's The Kiss, but anything else? I don't know.
Yeah. I have seen one of those sets have a question about the Kiss, ironically enough, but it was just kind of random. It wasn't something that we noticed happening over and over again.
Oh yeah. That, to me, that feels like the type of I always think of it as false trivia, where you only know one thing, and as long as the question's always about that, you feel like you know something. Like on Jeopardy, they would always say beat poet, blah 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 blah, and it was always Kerouac. So you felt like you knew the answer when all you had to hear was beat poet, and it was going to be him for sure.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought the beat poet was Ginsberg.
Yeah, you'd think so, but no, it was
Huh.
always Kerouac.
Interesting. Oh, jeez. Pardon me. Gotta kick somebody out of the chat.
They're always trying something. That's the problem.
Yep. The hard part of running a stream is there's always some guy doing some. Right, hang on.
The other team is always up to something. I do like that the Vega Baja team, the Cañeros, their uniforms in their headshots, because they're in black and white, they look like some real Jack Skellington or Wednesday Addams type of clothes. That's fun. I'd say Old
Sorry,
Town
I'm gonna need you to
is
say that.
defensible for that.
Sorry, you're gonna have to tell me that one again.
I said the Vega Baja uniforms in their headshots, because it's black and white, they look like something Jack Skellington or Wednesday Addams would wear. And that's great.
That's a very good point. Actually, we have been deciding whether. So you're saying black and white. It is technically sepia. And we've been trying to decide whether we're going to skip the black and white era, which was eventually going to happen, and just go straight to color.
Uh-huh.
No, just saying that's what we're going to do.
This is sepia? I cannot imagine what black and white would be separate from this.
It's just grayer instead of having like a brown undertone to it.
Don't see much of a brown undertone. Fair enough. If I saw them side by side, I'm sure I would see.
All right, top of the fourth inning, Campos, Osorio, Sanchez are going to face Everton Stack, who is through 3 innings on 54 pitches, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts plus a plunk. Campos is 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see, Stack usually in the mid game is pretty locked down, so hopefully the Naves figure it out here. And he's retired 3 batters in a row via the K. Cristóbal Campos strikes out on a fastball down in the zone. Out number 1, 4th K of the night for Stack as he now faces Jesus Osorio, who is 0 for 1. Osorio, first pitch swinging here. He flew out in the 2nd inning. And maybe that's the idea as he lines that one into center field. It dies before he leaves the infield dirt. And that's exactly what he needed. He makes it to first with the 2nd hit of the night for the Cañeros, a sinker away. Here comes the
That looked
ball.
like it flew right past Stack's ear.
Probably did. Let's check it out. Like I say, I would love to have that soccer one that's like blue with... Oh, God!
He's got ice in his veins.
He sure does. Here comes Sanchez with a man on first and 1 out. He's 0 for 1. 1-2 count. Sanchez hits that one to Shirley. He's got it. Throws to second for 1. And hey, stop me if you've heard this one before. They don't get rid of the ball and only get 1 runner. And
they're also good at fielding normally. What's happening?
Worse yet, somehow Benji Valdez got his head scratched on that one.
Oh no.
How that happened, we'll never know.
Oh, poor Benji.
Yeah. Apparently he will be fine, though. Not a big deal. Just slap some wood tar liquor in there. And
That's right.
He'll be fine. 2 outs and a man on first for Roberto Mora, who's over 1. And on the 2-1 count, swung on, lifted into left field. First fly out to left field we've seen, but Vidal's got it all the way. That's out number 3. The Cañeros get a hit, and that's it here in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th, Riviere, 56 pitches over 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 strikeout. He will face Underwood, Stonehand, and Sue. Let's see if any of them can get on base, keep things rolling. Underwood is 0 for 1. He hit that hard line drive along the ground. Maybe he'll try and get more air on the ball this time.
Come on, Ham.
First pitch to him. And, well, no, he did not. That one was just rolled along the ground, and he almost runs that out, but not nearly enough, unfortunately.
Darn it! He could have waited a little bit. That was 1.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go in the first one.
Stonehand, 1 for 1 on the day. Let's see if he cares to add. Ooh, quality at bat here. We got a full count, and he draws a walk.
Nice.
Stonehand with a 6-pitch walk. Boy, Riviere didn't want anything to do with him.
No.
Nothing in the zone. And both of those strikes were called, so that was just the umpire being goofy.
Yeah.
So he should have walked 1 pitch earlier, basically. Anyway, here comes Chen Dasu, who's 0 for 1. He's hitting just 196 in the middle innings. Let's see what happens with a man on first and 1 out. He takes him to a full count and goes to... Oh, are they going to get a double play out of this? No. Amazingly, somehow, this is just the game of denied double plays. Like, look how quickly the ball gets from the shortstop to second base. You had all the time in the world to get rid of that.
Yeah. Everyone's too conservative today.
Weird.
Yeah.
You know who I blame for this?
Who?
Joe Quest.
Yeah, what's he up to?
Yeah. Javier on 69 pitches will now face Frank Del Castillo, who is 1 for 2 with a man on first and 2 outs. And on the 1-0 count, Castillo, of course, flew out to right center. And he chops that one to the shortstop. Mora has it. Little hop throw to second base. And the side is retired. Naguabo gets a walk. And that's Hawk. And we are through 4 innings of what looked like promising ball. And has suddenly gotten iffy.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous the more, ironically, even though they're still 2 ahead, the more it goes on without them scoring any insurance runs, makes me more nervous.
Yeah, I do not blame you at all there. Leon Mora, who is drew a walk last time, as far as I can tell, but also is hitting 164 away from the road. Will face Everton Stack, who is about to throw his 70th pitch. He's already on 4 innings, having allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts plus that plunk. Let's see if he can keep him under control. Do not tell me this man is about to draw his second walk here. He is not. Sue has that, makes the throw over there, and that's out number 1. Maybe I'll start calling him Sue Storm. That's the dumbest thing I've come up with all day.
I feel like he wouldn't like that one bit.
Well, he can deal. He's like, who even is that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to explain the Fantastic Four to a ball player from the 1900s?
Oh, Lord. Okay, so they go into space.
Mm-hmm.
First of all.
There's this guy named Victor Von Doom, but he's the best friend of our hero, Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm. They all get totally different powers. Yeah, it's very complicated.
Yes. The woman can turn invisible, which is totally not a commentary on the role of woman in society. Why would you think that it would be? Ever?
To be fair, the ball players probably wouldn't even register that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes. Come to think of it, sports is one of those places where like even the support roles are commonly being done by guys, like the guys who clean the clubhouse and everything. So even the invisible work is so often being done by men because the environment is so testosterone soaked. So this is blowing my mind. I had literally never thought of this before. We were just watching an episode of Welcome to Wrexham where they mentioned that this one team, Burton Albion, I want to say,
okay,
has the oldest kit man in any of the pro soccer leagues in the UK. The man is like 89 and has been working there for like 25 years.
Amazing.
Or maybe 86 and 29 years, something like that. But yeah, and it's just like you talk to him and you just get the impression that he just decided to start showing up one day. They were just like, yeah, sure, we'll hire you. Why not?
Yeah, somebody needs to do this job. If you're going to come do it every day, great.
Awesome. All right. 1 out, bases empty for Ignacio Ortiz, who is 1 for 2. That's his first hit off a stack in 9 at bats. And here on a 2-2 count, what does he do? Strikes out! 5th K for Everton Stack. The curveball there. Got him to swing at a high curveball. He probably thought he could actually land the bat on it, but it got away from him. So here comes Heriberto Telles with 2 outs and the bases empty. He's over 2. First pitch swinging, which he's done in 67 at bats so far. He's hitting 343. And a 1-2 count. He hits that one, and Valdez rushes in, and he's got it. That's the inning. The Navegadores have their first clean inning of the game, I believe, as we head into their half of the 5th. Ooh, look at that grouping there. Everything in exactly the same area. Down and away, down and away, down and away.
That's very good.
Here comes Benji Valdez. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's had 3 hits off of Riviere, who is on 71 pitches over 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and 2 plunks. Ooh, Benji on an 0-2 count. I am not hopeful here, and I shouldn't have been. Strikes out swinging on the fastball. 2nd K of the game for Riviere. With 1 out and the base is empty, here comes Vidal Santiago, who's 0 for 1. He lands in the hole. Can he get out of it? No! Riviere, back-to-back strikeouts, and he's got a shot at striking out the side here. Pablo Salmeron, 1 for 2 with a ribby on the day, but he's also weak to the strikeout. Let's see what happens here. 1-2 count, so at least he lasted a little bit longer. Nope, it'll be a ground out. He knocks that one to first baseman Bomilla, throws it to Riviere covering, and we are through 5 clean innings on both sides. The Navegadores and the Cañeros both go down quietly here over this frame. Boy. Thank God baseball fans know that this is a possibility every time they show up to a ball game.
Uh-huh.
Because otherwise this would be infuriating.
Yeah, baseball's only partly about the playing of the game.
Correct. It's mostly about, well, it wouldn't be a hot dog, I guess, but come to
What would
think
be
of it,
the go? Yeah.
yeah, the
Hmm?
equivalent. I'm asking myself the same question. You know what every ballpark would have is just endless flat top grills everywhere, just plancha after plancha after plancha. It would just
Delicious.
be press sandwiches all day long.
Oh, that sounds so good. Yes, perfect.
Anyway, here
Would there be
comes.
a would there be a hot dog equivalent in form of a sausage sandwich of some kind? You think?
Salchichon is a thing, but it's not usually served in the same way that a hot dog is. You tend
Fair
to eat
enough.
salchichon with like other things, so you might
Yeah.
have it with in the same way that you would have sausage as a breakfast meat usually.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was the kind that you would put in like a rice or a beans, but
Also true.
I did not
Yes,
expect something like that.
it's very much just a smoked sausage. So
Okay.
anything that you would use one of those in, same thing here.
Delicious.
Indeed. All right, here comes Everton Stack. 5 innings, 85 pitches, 2 hits, 1 plunk, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He faces Eligio Quintero, who's over 2 on the day. After him, Bomia and Campos. Here in the top of the 6th, Quintero lines that one into center field, but not on Ham Underwood's watch. Good running catch there to stop the base hit. And here comes Fernando Bomia, who is 0 for 1 on the day. He is landing in the hole after he struck out last time, and he does so again here. Everton Stack gets him with a fastball, his 6th K of the night, as he'll now face Cristobal Campos. He is 0 for 2, struck out last time as well. On the 1-1 count here, Campos pops him up. Foul territory, Spike Stonehand goes to get it, throws the mask off, and he's got it. The Naguabo fans very appreciative of his defense back there. Wait, what? It's an error.
What? How?
He dropped the ball.
Come on.
Let's see if we can see that. Ooh, look at that skybox.
Jeez.
Yep, dropped it off the glove. That's what you use
You
both hands,
fool.
Spike.
Why would he go? Oh, you're already past the foul line. Why? Why any of this?
Very stupid. Here go. 1-2 count. Actually, 2-2 count now. And they got him anyway. Strike 3, swinging on the fastball again. 7 Ks for Everton Stack. And they sit him down. Riviere, who at some point this has to break. He's sitting on
Yeah.
82 pitches over 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 plunks. And he faces Sherdlu, Kim Underwood. Sherdlu is 1 for 1 with a ribby here. And you'll see him here. He'll take the full count. The best way, he could have gotten a walk. Instead, he hits that. It's a ground out to third base. And Osorio, an 8-pitch at bat, so at least he got him to 90. But let me put it this way for you. This is how frustrating the Navegadores offense is this year. I got to pull up the team's stats here. But in number of hits, okay? Like,
Yes.
now granted, they have played fewer games than almost anybody. They are sitting at 747. The average number is 771. And they are sitting closer to the average after basically just exploding on offense a couple times. So this is maybe not reflective of their actual performance. The point is, in terms of getting hits, they are below average. Okay?
I
Their
see.
batting
Okay.
average is 244. Average is 245. In terms of walks, they are 4th highest in the entire league. So they are getting on base almost more via free pass than by base hit, which is the makings of a very brittle offense. If you have a pitcher who's willing to like land in the zone all the time, you're screwed because you're gonna have to depend on your bat.
Is there such a pitcher though in the LNP?
Well, the thing is, I think every pitcher kind of turns into one when facing the Navegadores because they know that the Naves are going to take pitches, they're going to foul off pitches. So if you fill the zone, you might get a few favorable calls from the umpire, even if you go outside a little bit, because he'll think, well, the guy's usually in the zone. that's got to have been too. If it just kind of looks like it's in between, they might give you the benefit of the doubt. And eventually, if they start pressing, they'll get more desperate and they'll start getting out on bad pitches that they shouldn't be swinging at.
I see. Okay.
So here comes Kim with 1 out and the base is empty. He's over 2 on the night. And on the 0-2 count, he No! He hits that one to a shortstop. Mora has it, catches it, and is this going to be an error? Because it might not be. It was not. Beautiful play there by Leon Mora, diving to knock it down and making a perfect throw to first there.
Nice.
So here comes Ham Underwood. He's over 2. Can he extend this inning with 2 outs and the bases empty here? Riviere on 94 pitches. And on the 0-1 count. Ham, another roller, this time to the pitcher. And boy, luck is just not with him today, nor probably is his bat. Clean inning for the Naves as we are through 6 innings. A fastball there down the middle. That should have been a pitch he could roll. He'll probably only get one more at bat at the rate we're going, so here's hoping. Before we continue with what had better be the last 3 innings of this game, although I suppose at the speed we're going, it's okay if it takes a little bit longer, we're going to have another word from our sponsors. Louisa, the booth is all yours.
Thank you. Folks, continuing on with the classified items in the Gazetilla, we have Medicine, a newspaper from Tours. I'm assuming this is Tours in France? Not sure. But a newspaper from Tours, written and published entirely by its editor, reports that a doctor has discovered that, employed in small doses, Atropa belladonna, more commonly known as deadly nightshade, is an infallible protector against epidemic smallpox. Sounds pretty dangerous to find out about, frankly. And our final classified item, here is a little note. Before you marry. After Milton lost his sight, he took as his second wife a beautiful woman who was, unfortunately, of a very moody character. When one day Lord Buckingham told his wife his wife was as beautiful as a rose, Milton replied sadly, "I cannot judge her by her color, but I can by her thorns." Just a little lighthearted spouses hating each other humor for you at the end of the items today. Also, frankly, we don't know how upset he really was, do we? I wonder if this person's supposed to be someone we know. Is this Milton? The author? Is that crazy? Is that crazy that I said that? No, I'm gonna have to look it up.
No, it's definitely John Milton. He famously won blind.
Okay. Famously, but not famous to me, so I didn't know. But
if I remember correctly, there's been some work done on how much his daughters basically had to help him out once that happened. I don't remember if he went blind before Paradise Lost. That's what I'm not sure about. But I do remember it coming into play later on in his life. But yes, this is the kind of story that like old Puerto Rican and Cuban men love to tell you about. So it's like, this famous author, did you know he also hated his wife? So I'm actually a cool guy for saying the things that I do about my spouse.
Yeah, old men love the stories about hating your wife.
Yes.
That's what the entire industry of comic strips is based on, I feel like.
Oh, interesting. Hang on. What? So where is the spousal hatred in, for example, Marmaduke? I would love to hear.
No, incorrect. You can't pick the example and then try to find it. You need to find the example, because there are a million of them. The Lockhorns, Andy Capp, these are people who hate their spouse. There's a
I,
whole genre of it.
I just always assumed the Lockhorns was about a family of satyrs in the woods.
That would have been nicer.
I know, right? All right, top of the seventh. You know what? Let's see if there are any more exciting ball games than this, because the answer is there's going to be
Yeah.
several. It's a low bar to clear. All right, here we go. The Eléctricos de Guayanilla, who I might add also have collars like the Cañeros do. Must be
Nice.
something in the air lately. And they wear pinstripes, come to think of it. But
Hmm.
anyway, they are currently shutting out Mocha 3-0 in the top of the ninth. Mocha currently has no one on base, but also no outs, so we'll see what happens. Jorge Orduño on the mound for them. He is not a good pitcher, so this
Oh.
is big for him. I'm glad he's getting to do this.
Hmm.
Would you look at that? Dorado and Juncos in a 5-5 dogfight.
Wow.
Pardon me. Going into the ninth inning, Lorenzo Mendoza hit his first home run. And for Dorado, Nicolas Zamora hit his fourth for Juncos. Juncos with,
There's a real story being told with the hits there, huh? You got 6-10,
yes,
even though the score is 5-5. It looks like Ugos is having a really hard time fighting their
yes.
way
And
to score.
Nicolas Luna, also not a great pitcher, 8 innings pitched. All 5 of those runs from Dorado were earned, 4 walks and 7 strikeouts.
Mm.
The Ingenieros are currently shutting out the Santos in the bottom of the seventh.
Wow.
Induciomaro Osorio, through 6 innings with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. He's facing Cameron McMillan, uh, possible future Scottish seat, depending on what we need.
Ah. Uh-huh.
Hey, old friend Francois Sicard,
Oh.
L'Imprévu, is currently at bat for the San Salvos against the Galanes de Ciales. This is an intra-divisional match. They are tied 4-4 in the top of the sixth. Juan Rivera for Ciales pitching. He's having an okay year. Solid year, let's say.
Same story there with the hits.
Indeed. The Guiristas are facing the Cítricos. They are currently in the lead 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth, and Mauro Alcantara has put them in great position to tack on an insurance run with Tomas Guia, who currently has 12 home runs to his credit, at the plate. Eduino Rizzo getting a little bit banged around, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Cabo Rojo and San Juan tied 2-2 in the top of the seventh. Constantino Vasquez for San Juan having a tough time. He's currently 8-13, but has a great ERA. So it's really his ball club that's been letting him down more than anything.
Mhm.
Camuy beating Patillas 7-2. Carlos Diaz, the pitcher for Camuy, pretty good pitcher in development through 4 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs and 1 strikeout. So Patillas looks like they just scored their second run there. They might have a shot. They've had more than their share of come from behind wins this year. Arroyo shutting out Arecibo in the sixth,
Oh, man.
4-0. John Anderson, old friend once again, just struck out swinging.
Mm.
Salinas beating Luquillo 5-4. Ramon Chavez on the mound for Luquillo, sitting on 3 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, as is his wont. He's currently at 212 strikeouts,
Wow.
doing quite well in that sense,
Nice.
anyway. Gaspar Mendoza hit his second home run for the Picudos de Ceiba, who are currently leading the Corceres de Santa Isabel 2-1. At Diaz Payan for the Corceres is sitting on 6 innings, so 2 earned run, 2 walk, 1 strikeout ball, but he's currently losing this ball game.
Mm.
Utuado over Jayuya 5-2 in the bottom of the sixth. Casiodoro Torres of Utuado just got the second out from Jorge Cruz and will now face Jaime Sanchez, who's doing pretty well this year. And yeah, that's just about what I expected.
Aw.
Is there a home
Your
run
is.
coming? No, there's not a home run there. Uh, the Pepinos have just taken more of a lead against the my beloved Reyes de Juana Diaz, 9-4 against Ignacio Gonzalez, their newest pitcher, because they just lost one of their starters for the season.
Ah, that's a shame.
It's the top of the sixth. They've still got a man on second with 2 outs as Eneas Hernandez just doubled 2 guys in. Antonio Montes out to bat now, the catcher. That's about par for the course. Trujillo Alto just took the lead against San Germán in the bottom of the seventh, 3-1. They've got Ismael Martinez, one of their 2 big bats, up at the plate with 2 still on and 2 outs against Eufemio Roque for San Germán, who's been having his troubles. He's doing a little bit better than last year, but not by much. And also, he was mostly out of the pen this year, actually.
Mm.
The Taínos are shutting out Bayamón in the top of the sixth. 3-0. Alfonso Lujan, who is slowly returning to form as the premier pitcher we know he can be, facing down Cesar Hernandez of Bayamón. San Lorenzo is absolutely crushing Toa Baja. They are up 14-0 in the sixth. Constancio Hernandez shutting them out.
Need a mercy rule there.
That's brutal. Corozal beating Guanica 2-1 in the bottom of the third, and they currently have a man on first with Duarte Cuellar, also known as El Dragón, up to bat next against Francisco Ramirez.
And Laertes Batista. That's a heck of a name, too.
What's this one? Laertes Batista? Yeah.
Yep.
See, are there any other ones that we're missing? Oh, hello, there's one more. Florida and Carolina are currently tied 2-2 going into the top of the ninth. Sarpedon Arevalo for Carolina, who I think almost pitched a no-hitter a little while ago.
Nice.
Is sitting on 8 innings of 2 run, 3 walk, 1 strikeout ball. He is facing Peyton Burns, who at one point was thought to be one of those bucherones, but has really kind of fallen off the table in recent years.
I feel like for a while there, if you're a Canadian player and you really wanted to play in the LNP, you could maybe kind of sneak your way in on the wave of Boucheron players and then hang in there for a little while, perhaps.
That is exactly correct. Having that kind of power, raw power, a team would pick you up because basically they could roll the dice with you. Travis Lauzon still has a job in this league because anytime he comes up to bat, he might hit a dinger. Now, is he a starter this year? No, not as far as I know, unless that has changed in recent weeks. But he is good enough at his job that he can make things happen. So,
that's great.
If you have a gamble, you're down to your last out or whatever, sure, shove him out there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stack, 6 innings, 97 pitches, 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He faces Osorio, who's 1 for 2. On the 0-1 count, Osorio hits that one right to Shirley, who drops it. Second error of the game for Shirley. There's no rain. There's no reason for him to drop these balls.
Yeah.
Osorio will reach on that fastball, and here comes Gavino Sanchez, who's 0 for 2. Let's hope this inning doesn't balloon out of control. As on the first pitch, Sanchez lines that one out to De Castillo in right. He's got it. Shows Shirley how it's done. With the one hand. And Osorio is stuck at first. Here comes Roberto Mora, who's over 2. On the 0-2 count, Mora hits that one to Shirley. Does he hold on to the ball? No! He drops it again! The one player who's got to be careful here. It's his 3rd error of the game.
Jeez.
Osorio moves to second, and we've got 2 on with 1 out, so the Cañeros, being smart, go to their pinch hitter, number 38, Perseo Hernandez, who's normally a right fielder, I see here. He's sitting on a 4.22 OPS. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. Stack would be wise to go for the strikeout here. And he will not. 2 for 1. Hernandez 3 for 19 as a pinch hitter, and that's a base hit. Valdez can't get to it. Underwood runs it down. He's not getting rid of that ball fast enough. Is he safe? He is. Mora takes third. Hernandez has an RBI single, and they are threatening here. It's 2-1 now. So Shirley's errors come heavily back to bite them, as now the top of the lineup gets a chance with 2 on and only 1 out. Badly needed strikeout or pop out here. Underwood did his best, but the umpire decided that, that Osorio had crossed the plate in time. Let's see if they can limit the damage and keep this a one-run game. Ortiz, 1 for 3 on the day. And with a 1-2 count, he strikes out on the fastball. 8th strikeout for Stack. He's been denied the shutout. Let's see how he feels against Tejas, who is over 3. First pitch to him. He lined out to Valdez last time. This time he knocks it to Sherdloo, and it's through. Sherdloo does not get there in time. They're going to run one in. They have taken the lead.
Oh, man.
It's a 2-run single. And Vega Baja in the lead on no earned runs. Those 2 Sherdloo errors really took a bite.
This was what I was afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly
and you
what
should have
been.
Okay, the replay makes it look very different. From the frontal view, it kind of looked like the ball got there ahead of the runner, but ugh.
Yeah.
Says Will, I hate baseball. Yep. Well said.
Yep.
Here comes Sergio Quintero, who's over 3. He's got a man on second and 2 outs. We're going to start warming people up in the pen since no real reason to keep Stack out there if he's just going to get rocked. Where do we go? We're going to have Pino getting ready to go. 1-0 count on Quintero. Can he finish the inning? Sends that one fly out into right center. Nobody's going to get to that, and Vega Baja will have a 4-2 lead.
What the heck? They've just completely demoralized the Naves.
Exactly. RBI single from Elijio Quintero, his 40th run batted in, and the Cañeros are ahead by 2 runs. They've scored 4 here in the top of the 7th, and that's why you don't strand the runners you get. Poor Everton Stack is doing his best, and it is not working out for him. Here comes Bomilla, who's over 2. Stack's got to hold him off. We don't have a reliever ready to go. He hits it to Sue at third base, who finally mercifully ends an inning that should have ended several batters ago. The Cañeros sent 8 men to the plate. 4 of them scored, and they are now in the lead.
Jeez.
So now, with Quinn Levin and Pino ready to go in the pen, it's up to Stonehand, Sue, and Del Castillo to deliver some justice. They're facing a righty. What's that?
I like that the organ really makes a meal of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Play ball.
Is it worth putting Wally in here is the question.
How much worse could things get?
Well, without having Spike behind the plate, they could get worse. That's the thing. That's the real issue. If we're gonna do that, let's pinch hit him for Wally. Let's pinch hit him for Sue, I should say. Wait. Let me check something here. Oh, he does have better contact skills, and he's a lefty, so he's actually just about the same. Let's see, Spike. What do we got here? Just one sec. Let's check that gap rating. Well, a single can get things started if we need it. Now hitting for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 20, Kieran Anderson, current holder of the Scottish seat. Let's see if he can get things started here. He's on a 531 OPS with 10 runs batted in. Javier now feeling very relieved as he's sitting on 6 innings of 96 pitch ball, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Anderson, who's 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter with a 1-1 count, hits that one down the left field line, and it will be a single. He evades the left fielder there. Little Texas leaguer there, and Chen Desu will come up to bat. He's over 2, but that's okay because he won't be allowed to bat for himself. Now hitting for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 12, Wally Bach, who is on a 638 OPS, 4 home runs, and 29 runs batted in. He comes up with a man on base and no outs. Let's see what Revere has in store for him. 1-2 count. He's over 4 as a pinch hitter, by the way. And that's why he strikes out on a splitter inside that would have been ball 2. Man on first with 1 out for Frank De Castillo, who's 1 for 3 on the day. 0-1 count. Lines that one right to second base. Hey, look! They can actually hold on to the ball over there.
Amazing. The music's helping.
Aguilar on second base there. Hernando Aguilar, now the second baseman, number 16, is able to make the out, and Frank will be at first. We're going to have Quinn Levin, and given that this is Anbar, will go in the pen. Valdez next up. He's 1 for 3. 2 outs and a man on first. Let's see if Benji wants to play superhero here. First pitch to him, and there goes Del Castillo. He'll steal easily. That's his 28th stolen base of the season. 2-2 count for Benji. Hits that one. It might get past the right fielder. No! That's a diving catch!
Oh, man.
After that little flare from Anderson, they knew they couldn't let that happen again. So the hit is all they'll get. We are through 7, and the Cañeros are leading. Kieran Anderson now going behind the plate. Wally Bach to third base. And let's see what's going to happen here. Rob Feaster might be coming in the next inning. Cristobal Campos, Jesus Osorio, Gavino Sanchez coming up in this inning with Anbar ready to go. We're going to let him take this one. So now pitching for the Navegadores. Number 10, Kareem Anbar. Let's see if he can hold them off a little bit. Campos 0 for 3 on the day. Here goes nothing. Anbar is 3-2, ERA of 1.86, 25 strikeouts in 29 innings. Campos struck out in his last 2 at-bats, and he does so again here. Anbar with the slider. Gets his first punch out. He now faces Jesus Osorio, who is 1 for 3 on the day. 1-0 count for him. He's the dangerous one as he's the righty, but looks like he bounces that one to Valdez. He makes sure he's got the ball, throws over to first, and that's out number 2. And here comes Gavino Sanchez, another lefty, 0 for 3. Let's see if Anbar here on a 2-0 count, looks like, can get through the inning. Pops him up. Now let's see if they hold on to the ball. This time it's Min-Soo Kim who runs it down, and he's got it. Kareem Anbar pitching a clean inning in the 8th to at least give the Naves a reason to try here. So it'll be Vidal Santiago, Pablo Salmeron, Eto'o Sherlew against Jean Riviere, who is at 111 pitches over 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Santiago is 0 for 2 on the day. He's really got to get it together if they're going to string something here. He's the kind of bat they need in this situation.
I'm glad we found a player that you are mad at.
And on the 1-0 count, it does not work. That's popped up. It'll be Osorio who goes to get it near third base. Here comes Salmeron. Can he do anything better than that? 1 for 3 with a ribby.
Ronnie John, come on.
He takes Rivera to a full count. And he knocks that one past second base there. So he'll be on base with 1 out. His 100th hit of the season. I don't know if he's ever gotten to that before. Nope. That is, in fact, he had hits number 99 and 100 today. Yesterday, he had hits 97 and 98. So he now has his personal record for hits in a season.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Vidal Santiago is putting a big, an 11-game hitting streak on the line here. And he probably just extinguished it by not getting a hit there.
Yeah.
Salmeron is currently sitting on 7 in a row. Here comes Sherlew, and
You hate him. You hate his guts.
I sure do right now, I'll tell you that much. I'm trying to decide. I mean, he's 1 for 2 on the day. He's drawn a walk. He's 3 for 8 against Riviere. This is the right move. Let's see if he can redeem himself a little. But we are going to put Varela in the pen just in case. Full count for Sherlew. He knocks that one. Oh, you have got to be kidding me! The 1 double play. Did they?
Did they?
No! Salmeron looks like he beat the throw.
He's a very petite little man, isn't he? I always forget.
Yeah, he is. He's only 5'5", I believe. And here comes Gabriel Carrera, the closer, number 49, to pitch for them. He's doing very well this year. 66 and 2/3 innings, 4 wins, 3 losses 15 saves, and he's sitting on an 0.67 ERA. Very, very good pitcher. So we're in trouble. Rob Feaster will hit for the Naves instead, number 16. Let's see if he can get anything going. He's 643 OPS. No home runs, 20 runs batted in. 2 outs and a man on second. 2-2 count. Oh, whoa. We got way too much drumming here.
That was some very powerful drumming.
Great. Pop up straight up on the 2-2 count. That's not going to do anything. So, we are through 8. The Navegadores try to piece together an inning and fail. The score remains 4-2 in favor of the Cañeros. Rob Feaster now going to first base, as Kareem Anbar only threw 10 pitches, so we'll let him at least start this inning. He faces Roberto Mora, who's over 3 on the day. Mora reached on error last time he came up. Here, Anbar on the 1-1 count gets him to pop up. Shirley coming on, and they're going to let him take that ball. Interesting choice, to be honest. Second baseman Hernando Aguilar coming up next. He's sitting on a 575 OPS, no home runs, 6 runs batted in. And on the 1-0 count, Anbar watches that one. It's hit to Balk. Balk makes the throw across the hallway, and it's out number 2. And Ignacio Ortiz will come up. He's 1 for 4. Anbar so far absolutely nailing this bullpen appearance. Ortiz struck out back in the 7th, and here he strikes out in the top of the 9th. His 3rd strikeout of the game. Anbar has pitched 2 clean innings with 2 strikeouts, and now the Naves have 3 last chances to hit against Gabriel Carrera, who pitched a 6-pitch out in the bottom of the 8th.
Oh boy.
Underwood leads off. He's over 3 on the day. Let's see what Carrera's splits are like. Well, it looks like he's quite a bit worse against lefties, so maybe that'll work to Ham and Anderson's advantage here. Oh boy.
Here we go.
On the first pitch, you have got to be kidding me. 4 rollers, all of them on the infield, and 2 of them on the first pitch. Just no change in approach whatsoever.
Man.
Kieran Anderson coming up. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Let's see what he's going to do. As he certainly has a chance. He's come up big before. 1-1 count. Hits that one hard and deep.
Sounded good.
Yeah, but it's getting caught. Tejas had it out there. And that's apparently a 5-star catch. We've seen our guys make catches like that and not get the praise. I guess the distance he had to cover does make it pretty cool.
Yeah, he did a good job. I guess, the villain.
Yep. Here comes Wally Balk as the last chance, because we don't have any more lefties. This is it. Let's see if he can extend this at all. 2 outs, no one on base. Full count for him, and Carrera walks him. Beautiful at bat for Balk there to extend the inning.
Good.
Puts a man on. Carrera at 16 pitches now. Here comes Frank de Castillo, who's 1 for 4. Can he do anything? 2-1 count. De Castillo rockets that one into center field. And it's out there. Balk running for third. They are not going to try to score him, which is wise. So there's 2 on in scoring position. The tying run at second with 2 outs. Can Benji Valdez come up big here? He's 1 for 4. Can he do it? 2-2 count. And he strikes out to end the game. Gabriel Carrera gets him for his 16th save. And Naguabo loses a ball game they had very much within their grasp on errors when you neglect your fielding. This is what's going to happen. Jean Riviere picks up another win against the Naves on 7 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 runs on 7 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 1. He plunked 2. He pitched the worst game by any measure. But thanks to 2 errors, there's nothing we can do about that. Gabriel Carrera gets his 16th save. on 4 outs of 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout pitching. Kareem Anbar proved his usual self, but boy, there's just nothing we can really say about that. That should not have happened.
Mm.
There,
Yeah.
there are games where you kind of tip your cap and you say, "Hey, the other team did a good job. There's nothing we could have done about that. They could have done something about this.
Yeah.
This was embarrassing."
Yep.
Any further thoughts? Maybe anything nice you might want to say?
Well, no, this isn't nice, but when they scored two in the very first inning and I said I was nervous because they get complacent. As soon as they think they're ahead, they just coast. And then errors happen and they let things, runs score that should never score. And that's what they did here. And it's very frustrating when they do that.
Yes. It they have been pretty good fighters this season. They've really pushed hard against systems like this, and offenses like this, but they just usually when they lose this kind of game, it happens because well, obviously the offense isn't scoring enough. That's how it works, right? They don't tend to lose shootouts. They don't tend to lose games, 12-9. It's always this kind of game, low scoring, couple errors, and it just piles up. And
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it keeps being.
exactly.
So it's very unfortunate. Anyway, that's us for tonight. Thank you very much for coming. We should, if all goes well, be back next week for the long awaited debut of our most recent special prospect, or second most recent special prospect. But until then, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil y Dios les bendiga.